Joe, good to see you. Good to see you. A lot of finance stuff to talk about today, but also I want to vibe for a bit and see how you're doing. What the fuck's going on? We are not seeing GTA 7. Oh, that's a given. Not even like, even if everything is fine, like the world gets world peace utopia, we're not seeing GTA 7 because the gap length is exponential between 3 and 4, 4 and 5, 5 and 6. It's like 100 years. GTA 7. Also, Fallout and Elder Scrolls. I got a hot take. I don't want another Fallout game. They're not good anymore. They don't know how to make them. I don't want one. Don't make it. Let's make a new IP from someone else who's better at making games. I don't care. I'm not interested. They've shown all they can show about that universe. I'm not going to walk into one more vault and there's going to be a quirky dialogue thing and I'm like, wow, this is truly blowing my mind. I'm so glad this existed. Move on. Move on. Okay? New Vegas remake. Just go play New Vegas. It's not with the way graphics have evolved, the remake won't even look that much different. It's like you're begging for just go play it. Put a mod on it. I do think Elder Scrolls would be kind of fire. Still excited for it, obviously. But how many years has it been since that teaser trailer that they obviously had nothing for? I forgot when that was. When did that come out? Was that pre-COVID? 7 years? 2018 Game Awards? That's... Dude, just think about that. They had nothing. Why even do it? You hadn't even begun. 2018. That's so funny. We're further from the teaser than the teaser was from Skyrim. Yeah, it's extra funny because Skyrim came out, 2010? 2011. Oh my God, bro. It's been 15 years. It's been 15 years and it's going to be the same engine as Starfield? It's like they forgot how to make a video game. I swear to God. Like one day they just walked into the office and realized, hey, does anyone here know how to make a game? No, I think the guy left. The one guy that did, he left. And they just can't do it. Didn't some chump name his kid everything in Skyrim? That's not so bad. Who you gotta really feel bad for is all of the daughters that were named Khaleesi before Game of Thrones ended. There's a lot of Daenerys's and a lot of Khaleesi's out there, and they have been left high and dry societally. They're a little bit cooked. We looked at that name chart, and it's so funny. The Khaleesi one is like vertical down. Looks like silver prices in the past few days. Just fucking boom. George is gonna clutch up with the books ending, bro. That is last Japanese soldier still fighting World War II. He is not gonna clutch up, bro. I don't know how to tell you that. He is not gonna clutch up. This ain't gonna happen. It's we gotta accept it. We gotta accept it. However, as I've said over and over, and I gotta repeat it, the new Game of Thrones is high key, not even low key, high key fire. It's a fire show. It's just, I'm openly recommending it. Although I will say this, wait, I was looking this up. Wait, who's the guy? What's it called? Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Okay, so This show is called Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and it's based on real little short books he wrote, little novellas. And it's what makes the show so far so good. It's like a little fairy tale. It's like a fun, self-contained short story. Okay? And he wrote 3 of them, and they're going to do 1 book per season, each season 6 episodes. So 6 episodes, 1 short story, it fits it's nice. It's very good. But then I saw an interview with the showrunner, and they were like, dude, I can't wait to keep going long after those 3 books. I want to do 12 seasons. I want to do 12 to 15 seasons, including including the characters growing old. And how have you not learned? You fucking psychopath. How have you not learned the second you run out of the source material, it's cooked. It is only interesting when you're adapting really well-written source material. I can't blame someone for wanting to stay employed, but the audacity, you're on episode 3 of season 1. People are like, yeah, I kind of like this. And you're talking about your 15th season for 3 short stories. It's just fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous, bro. 6 seasons in a movie, even 6 seasons in a movie, the Community in joke is a showrunner making a joke about him getting to write more. He wrote the good seasons of Community so he could write more. But this is a guy talking about, yeah, I'm basically doing everything George wrote in the 90s for my first 3 seasons, and then my next 12, that's going to be all heart. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? Nobody trusts you to do that. Isn't that the famous thing that fucked up the end of Game of Thrones? Figment Boy, they have the 10 months. Buy yourself half of a Starbucks Americano with this. I know you guys think, oh, this guy loves coffee. But let you in a little secret. I don't even know anything about coffee. I don't even know what an Americano is. I don't even know what the type of coffee. I don't. What makes it an Americano? Espresso plus hot water. Sounds shit. Sounds shit. I don't. Why not just have tea at that point? It's a latte with water instead of milk. Why wouldn't you want milk? Milk is the key. It's cheaper than drip if you're poor. If you're poor, take the advice of our great corporations and get energy drinks and kratom. Okay? That's the key. Don't worry about getting Americano coffee. I work as a barista. It is shit. What's a barista's coffee order? What is the if I wanted to pretend to be coffee knowledgeable, what do I order to sound like I'm classy? A double, like what, protein style? Like I'm in and out. Water? It's just hot water. Give me a tallest glass of hot water, scalding hot, and drop a single coffee bean in it. Thank you. That's I want to see it roast in front of me. I just want the taste. Probably a flat white. What's a flat white? Flat white. Flat white is a double shot of espresso with microfoamed milk. It's slightly sweeter finish. Okay, I mean, who gives a fuck? Okay, fine. How do you microfoam milk? I don't know. Ask the baristas. I don't know. Guy from Melbourne be like, you have to try a magic, bro. See, I don't know what this means. I don't know. Is that magic like Australian coffee? A cortado is good too. As a barista, I don't know either. You're a barista, you don't know? So people come in and ask you for a flat white or a cortado, and you just every time give them random crap. You just say thank you. You turn around and mix fucking random shit, and then you get it back, and you hope they don't notice. That's super sick. That's all. Just vibe it out, baby. Just vibe it out. Never watched a live VOD before? You need to learn how to speak. Words have meanings. This is not a live VOD. Iyaka, thank you for the 2 months of tier 3. Hey, Big A, Apple just announced that Siri will be powered by Google Gemini soon. But Apple made a huge deal with OpenAI a few months back to basically kick off the more complex Siri for the ChatGPT. But if it's now powered by Gemini, it won't be necessary anymore. Probably going to be adding to OpenAI's financial troubles. Talked about this on Lemonade Stand. It is a big fuck you to OpenAI. It is a big fuck you. It's a big win for Google, honestly, because they're going to own the AI backend of every iPhone. So it's pretty big for Google, yeah. It's not so good for OpenAI, and it's not even that good for Apple because Apple's admitting like, hey, we just were way too late to this shit. That being said, we had a little debate on this on Lemonade Stand. I was like, bro, if this AI stuff ends up being a bit of a financial bubble, which I am more and more convinced of. Not that the technology is not going to be big, but in the short term, it's a financial bubble. Apple is like doing the smartest thing by throwing zero money at massive AI data center training, sitting back, selling iPhones and making huge piles of cash, and then waiting to buy everything from the rubble. And that's what I said on the show. And by the way, after I said that, earnings reports came out for Microsoft and for Apple. Microsoft's was fucking terrible. Their stock cut by 10, 15%. It was like, damn, we're spending so much fucking money. The returns are not there. This is scary. And then Apple's was like through the roof gargantuan. We just sold more iPhones than God. It was like, it was a pretty big fucking difference. So maybe if there's a longer term thing and Apple's behind the curve, it could hurt them. I'm not going to say it's impossible. But in the short term, they're doing so good. Do you have any anecdotes about AirPods? Yeah, I got one for you. You want me to toss one for you? Previously, I used to have this little bit of a witty tete-a-tetes where I would say something like AirPods, if it was split out into its own company, would be bigger than Nike. However, given recent financial results for both AirPods and for Nike, I actually now would say AirPods be bigger than 2 or 3 Nikes. Because Nike has done horseshit terrible and AirPods are selling like crazy. Pretty soon I'll have to say, what's the fucking shoes, the Hoka or On? Nike's doing horribly, bro. People are buying different, even Adidas is catching up. People are buying Asics. People are buying, people are even buying New Balance. Nike did this thing over like around COVID, like 21, 22, 23, where Nike ended its partnerships with Foot Locker, with Dick's Sporting Goods, with every shoe store. And they're like, we're just going to do direct to consumer online. And then right about that time, everyone started shopping in person more again. like the percentage flatline. And then at the same time, a bunch of new brands came in, like On and Hoka that got the key spots at all these stores now. And so Nike like massively fell off. They're backpedaling. Like right now, this year, they got a new CEO. The new CEO is trying to get back into Foot Locker and everything, but they have to do it at a worse deal now. So Nike's getting kind of cooked, high key. But they might turn it around. They got a new person. Did you see the Costco Nikes? Damn, the Kirkland Dunks? Fuck, dude. Fuck. They kind of fire, though. I'm not going to argue with it. I might get they're like re-releasing some Kobe's I might get. Now that I'm a fucking basketball guy. You start making the Air Yeezys again. I don't know if you know this. Adidas ended its partnership with Yeezy for some reason. I don't know if you kept up. There was some reason that Adidas stopped working with Kanye West. I think it was because the woke got to them. Yeah, if I had to guess. I heard that Kanye West said sorry, which, that is the first step. Action speaks louder than words, but that's the first step. But then I found out that he has done this before. He's like apologized before like 2 different album releases, and he has a new album release. So I don't. So it doesn't feel as impactful. It doesn't feel as heartfelt. But the way the world works, bro, he puts out a good album, people will fucking flip. He saw I remember he had the 22 Jump Street thing. He was like, he said, Jonah Hill convinced me not to hate Jewish people, and now he's good. And then he went right back to it. Speaking of albums, talking about the Grammys, I didn't watch or hear anything about the Grammys. Low key. If we're keeping it a fucking stack, I don't know. All I heard is I heard Kendrick won a bunch. But that just makes me. This is my core theory. I'm gonna do a big A clip on this sometime in a month. My core theory is that the Kendrick Drake beef killed hip hop in popular culture. I think they killed it. I think that was the end. It's over. That was the finale. That was the closing scene on hip hop as the number one fucking. It was like Avengers Endgame. It was the Avengers Endgame, and now people just start. It's not charting anymore. But we'll see how J. Cole does. But even still, these are all old artists. That's like, retirement tours. Yeah, K-pop. K-pop is on a wave right now. Big K-pop angle. Do you like Latin pop? Bad Bunny is like he's like bigger than the next 4 artists combined or something. It's crazy. It's crazy. So Bruno Mars still on top of Spotify. Listen, my understanding about Bruno Mars is that he has a horrendous gambling problem and God's gift to create a number 1 hit. I heard that he has how do I put this? Like if you release 10 songs and 5 of them are a number 1 hit, you have a 50% hit rate, right? 50% of the 10 songs you've released are number 1 songs. My understanding is that Bruno Mars has the best ratio of songs released to number 1 hits of any artist ever. And that is because he doesn't he only has hits. He has a very few amount of songs, and all of them are number one hits. So he has like just a unreal hit rate, and he has to keep shooting that bullseye in the middle to afford his crippling gambling addiction. That's my understanding about Bruno Mars, dude. He has high efficiency. Are you following the rise of One Nation in Australia? Following. I'm voting for him. Kidding. Yeah, it's the same thing as all these fucking countries. Everybody's got a time delay Trump, bro. Every country has a time delay Trump. They've got a Trump on like ready to detonate. And they're you know, they're acting like they're too cool for school, bro. They got one on standby, and they're all rising in the polls. The difference is One Nation's been around since the 80s. It doesn't matter when it's been around, bro. It wasn't a political force until now. The Conservative Party in Australia is dead. It's like fucking cratering, and it's all moving to this essentially MAGA, but make Australia great again. One Nation Party. Make Albo go away. Let's see. Australia must defend its southern border. That's what I've been saying, dude. I'm sorry, but if you are an Australian and you're not voting to keep that border defended against, I mean, Antarctica fucking flowing up, the penguins, you got to keep that shit defended. I say build the wall, honestly. Australia has a proud history of bird wars. They should surround Australia in some sort of Great Barrier. Like, I mean, yeah, they should. But only to keep out fish. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where the real threat is, from under the sea. They should call it reef because of all that reefer they smoke. That's a good idea. I do think they are a bunch of criminals and druggies down there in Australia. I think we finally could say it, okay? I think Britain didn't send their best, and I think they're all smoking that herb, okay? And they've lost their train of thought. It's a prison colony, is what it is. Clipped and shipped. I'm Australian and can confirm. We actually prefer meth down here. Oh, really? We got that here too. We got that here too. No shortage of meth, dude. If you know so much about Australia, name 5 Australians. All right, sure. Kangaroo Jack. Okay. Anthony Anderson and Kangaroo Jack. Crocodile Dundee. He's a big one. Crocodile Dundee is a huge one. Huge Jacked Man. That's a big one. And then who's that actress? The one that's is Nicole Kidman actually Australian? The one from the AMC commercials? Or did I just make that up? Australian. Yeah, Nicole Kidman. 5 for 5. And I actually got all of them, dude. That's like that's the famously from the AMC commercials. Yeah, that's where she said, life feels better in a place like this. Did you watch the Oscars? Bro, I can't believe my chat in the year 2026 is asking me, hey, bro, did you see the Grammys and the Oscars? Are you guys the age you say you are? Who the fuck cares about the Grammys and the Oscars in 2026? Are you guys all boomers? Wait, what year is this? These are dead shows. They have no cultural relevance. Are you guys watching on cable? Are you guys reading the fucking magazine in the line of a checkout at a supermarket to get your fucking celebrity fashion tips? What are we talking about? Who cares? Let's talk about Kai Cenat for a second. You're just mad you were snubbed? Would I have liked to have been nominated? Yeah, I mean, I think I really deserved it this year. Yeah, I do think it's a little crazy I wasn't nominated. Am I mad about it? Who's to say, bro? I just, let's move on. It just feels weird, bro. It just feels weird that Best bald artist. Buddy is fuming he ain't Markiplier with a theater hit. Bro, I'm actually very happy for Markiplier. I think it's really fucking cool. I think it's cool. It kind of opens doors, paves the way. So that when I submit the full Popathon video for theater acceptance, and we get that in theaters nationwide, and people are having like a fucking Barbenheimer moment where they're watching the Popathon, they'll watch it, they'll do them together. It'll be like Iron Lung and Popathon. They'll call it Papa Lung. And everyone will go and they'll vape till their lungs hurt and then watch Iron Lung and Popathon. And it'll be fucking awesome. And it'll be really fucking good. It'll be really good for society. We'll call it Popcorn Lung, yeah. It'll sell, yeah, and there'll be chat on the screen. There'll be chat on the screen for the full movie. Trentinator, they have the 11 months. Jason Statham should pay you in your biopic. You think you're saying Jason Statham because I'm like a gritty, tough action guy, or because he's bald? Both. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm not bald, first of all. First and foremost, I'm not bald. He would need a fat suit. Okay, you're timed out for that. You're timed out for that. You can't be saying that Jason Statham would need a fat suit to play me. Splash Zone 5, thank you for the prime. Scholar Jex, thank you for the tier 1. Ayudo, thank you for the 27 months. Calm Lemon for the 3. Mogi for the 13. Squilliam, thank you for the 24 months. Juzwa, thank you for the 39. Jahogi, thank you for the 4. Anime Champion, thank you for the 6. How are my anime fans? Hey, Weebs, get in. Weebs, clock in. How are all my Animaniacs feeling about the release of Frieren Season 2? Are you guys losing it? Is this going crazy? Are you guys finally feeling the joy, the drip of joy you've been missing? Does it activate your dopamine receptors such that you feel good? I'm glad. I'm fucking glad. Pay can pay his rent now. Dude, we play basketball every Sunday, and Pay the Musician has skipped 2 or 3 Sundays in a row because he's like, bro, I have to grind out a free run episode on my Anime React channel. Because if I'm late by a day, everyone else will make it before me. So he has to fucking Hey, Big A, Glizzy fan here. Gonna log off and go to bed. Are you gonna make that video with the new Fed share? Not only gonna make it, I'm gonna talk about it tonight, if you can believe it. Probably up on the Clips channel tomorrow, if I had to guess. Have you seen this from the White House where they completely fucked the Y-axis? Is this the steel production? Yeah, I saw this. This is so funny. This is so funny. The White House put this out. American steel is back. And they've just fucked the Y-axis. It's like a 1% increase. It's like very, very small. If you put it on a normal graph, yeah, here's what it looks like. Like if you just scale it to 100. American steel is back. That's fucking awesome. That's fucking sick. Gains are gains, though. And better than going the wrong direction. Or actually, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't even fucking know. Honestly. The idea that we have a competitive advantage in making steel might be pretty stupid. I don't know. Fucking. And then someone else increased it. This was a good one. American steel is back. This is if you're fucking 5'11" versus 6 feet, bro. Holy. We are fucking cooking with gas, dude. Did you play today's angle dot what the fuck? Banger of a game? No. This doesn't look up my alley. I don't want to play it. I want to play Stockle. Wait, I want to do Stockle.fun. Stockle! All right, we got a 5-year stock that spiked in 2026. What the helly? What the heliante? A recent spike to 140. 2022 spike? I mean, this could be, you know, airlines had a big spike around here. But why would an airline spike so much in January of this year? Could be, it wouldn't be like a precious metal. It wouldn't be, that would have a different pattern in 25. I don't know what this could be. Give you one hint. Energy. Was it an oil stock? Oh, it's an oil stock. This is an oil stock. A 21. Oil price goes up. All right, so this is like, maybe this is Chevron because of Venezuela. They're the only ones that are having in. Take a risk. Energy, oil, and gas, larger market cap, lower price. Okay, well, it's not many energy stocks just better than Chevron, so it's like fucking Exxon. Yeah, it's Exxon. Yeah! Holy! Holy! Sheesh kabish! Sheesh kabish! W. Scrandle? No. We gotta talk about stocks today. Surprised it wasn't American Steel. Damn, that would have been a funnier guess. I should have said, well, it's up in 26. Obviously, fucking good old fashioned American Steel. Fuck. Sometimes chat's funny, and I don't know how it happens. I don't know. It's like I think it's monkeys on a typewriter, dude. If there's enough of them and they just put out gibberish, some of it's funny. Do you guys think that? I got a real serious question for a second. Do you guys think that the biggest issue facing the world right now today is woke Joe Biden policies? Because I've been trying to weigh the different, and I think it probably is. I do think that I'm still furious currently at Joe Biden, and I feel like it's going to take a long time to scrub his wokeness. Second only to Obama's Epstein file creation. Did someone made the this kind of crack? It's like a very specific niche of where is this? Yeah. Hamilton fan / Barack Hussein Obama writing the Epstein file.
How do you write like you're running out of time? Write day and night like you're running out of time. Every day you fight like you're running out of time. Like you're running out of time. Like you're running out of time.
That was cracking me up. I mean, he just had like millions of files to write that is fucking impressive. Like legitimately, you have to put pedal to the metal on that one. What was the line? It's like James Madison wrote 15 of the Epstein files. Monroe wrote 30. Obama wrote the other 500 million. He really put the fucking work in. Yeah, that's fine. And to write them in a way that they perfectly line up with people's past travel and events and locations they were confirmed to have been is incredible. I mean, it's genius level. You have to do your research. It's cunning. Hey, first up, chat. Do you think the Warsh announcement is an attempt to impact the metals market in China? Hey, man, Ben, you're like a year now, keep crushing. We'll talk about Warsh in just a minute. I'm sorry I'm stalling a little bit, but my answer to your question is no. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think Trump had a devious plan of messing with the metals market in China. I think he's a little more direct with what he wants, but we'll talk about it for sure. Metals market is crazy though in China and other places. What's really crazy, I mean, it's the gap between the price of things like silver in Shanghai versus like London, and it reflects the actual need for metal delivery. It's like a gap that indicates there's some kind of like paper trading fake silver. Arbitrage opportunity. It's tough because you have to actually have the metal. The people buying and selling in Shanghai want delivery of the metal because they're using it in industrial production. Whereas in London, they're trading the idea of the metal. So you can't really take advantage of the arbitrage without having silver. What are they using silver for? It's a great question. Silver is actually used in solar panels. It's used in electric vehicles. It's got a number of industrial uses. It's used in missiles. And it gets sort of destroyed with use. It's used for killing werewolves. They have a massive werewolf population in China. They're always trying to fight. In like Shenzhen, the werewolf population is crazy. And so they buy They buy tons of silver to make bullets and stakes and no, but there is industrial demand. It's weird because that's one of the reasons. Well, the other is retail speculation, but one of the reasons that silver went so parabolic is because it has the combination of general human greed when they see line goes up, the currency debasement, precious metal trade, and then massive industrial demand hitting finite supply. So like a lot of people who are like, if you have a contract to build 100,000 electric vehicles in China, you need a certain number of tons of silver. And if you see the price starting to rise, the first thing you have to do is go, oh, fuck, I need to lock in a contract for silver futures right now. So you go and you buy ahead of time many tons of silver, which makes the price rise even more, which makes more people that need industrial demand buy more. So that is the reason it went so vertical so quickly. But again, a lot of it is insane retail speculation. Redono, thank you for the 17 months. Alchemists in shambles led into gold is no longer profitable. Wait, that can't be true. That can't be true. That's not even close to true. Lead is 90 cents per pound. Gold is like 5,000 per ounce. If you could turn lead into gold, I promise you'd be making a mint, bro. A chatter found you were mentioned in the Epstein files. Not a funny joke, but I'll click it. It is actually a funny joke. Wait, this is actually insane. This is an actual Epstein file. Bella Klein forward coffee cow order confirmation. December. Okay, but what? This is just an order of someone buying coffee. How is this in the Epstein files? How, like, what? I guess it's just all the emails. Crazy. Cots. 2014 too, dude. Right when I was just about to graduate. Sus, what's this? Netflix will no longer be available on PS3 after, who the fuck cares? This is just a funny tweet because he's playing on a CRT. Fuck! No! Not the PS3. That's where I watch Netflix. Dude, okay, wait. That actually kicks off a different thing. Interesting discussion. Disney is hitting the end of its second Bob Iger era, trying to find a new CEO. And looking at Disney today, Disney Plus is high-key cooked. Disney Plus is not only not growing, it's like shrinking slightly. It's like flat to down, and they bet the whole farm on it, dude. They dumped everything into this Disney Plus thing, and it's like a real fucked spot for Disney. There's a good chance in the near term they're gonna have to admit defeat, cancel the whole thing, and then like sell the shows to Netflix. Like it. And what's crazy is because many families are canceling Disney. Not every family, obviously, but many families are cutting back on that shit. There's a new generation of young people who aren't growing up with Disney, which makes them less likely to be Disney fans. So, like, once Disney, I don't know, it's their whole business model is kind of like, by the time, if you guys are saying base. This is awesome. Can't wait for this future. And then we're gonna flash forward to 2040, and there's like Coco Melon adults at Coco Melon World. It's like we didn't get better. It's not like things are getting better, bro. Yeah, I'm a Coco Melon adult. Um, We need a Coco Melon World yesterday. Speaking of Disney, talking about Iron Lung at all? I just gave it praise. There's no real Disney thing to be hooked on since Frozen or Moana, which are almost a decade old. You're absolutely right, dude. They're just shoveling out sequels. They've been shit on the innovation. Yeah, it's bad. But they thought that Disney Plus would be their fucking cash cow, and it's a money loser that is not even growing. Inside Out did really well. Wait, what was their last big hit? Zootopia was fucking Disney. And that did massive. Zootopia 2 did massive. It's still a sequel, but Zootopia 2 did like game-changing numbers in China. I think Zootopia 2 is the best performing. Am I crazy? I thought it was like the best performing Western movie in China since Endgame or something. It's like fucking massive. Oh, no, wait. It's the best ever. Zootopia 2 is the single best Western movie in China ever? That's so funny. That's crazy. They just fucking loved it. No, I'm sorry. Wait. It just said it was passed this week by Melania. Sorry, Disney. Melania is the #1 movie in China. It is going gangbusters over there. Every Chinese man, woman, and child is watching Melania around the clock because they love it. It's a Melania suite, movie of the millennium. They like bunnies and foxes in China. I got to imagine the reasoning is deeper than that. I don't want to do a little Orientalism here. I don't think it's China likes bunnies and foxes. That's why they had $1 billion on Zootopia 2. Heard of the Chinese Zodiac, buddy? I just checked. That's what it is. So anyway, that means if you're a Zootopia fan, guaranteed Zootopia 3, 4, and 5, bro. That amount of money, they're absolutely gonna do it. How does Jason Bateman keep fucking winning, dude? My God. How does he keep fucking winning? It's unbelievable. He should fall off. Miss once. There was a trend in China to see the movie with their pets. Oh my God, what is this? Dog owners in China bring their pups to Zootopia 2 screenings? I think you should listen to Aiden. He'd kill himself. I'm not even kidding. First of all, I don't think this is the reason. Aiden would kill himself. He would blow his shit off right there. He's canceling the China trip. Cat theater would be sick. Dogs gross. Okay, I gotta talk some shit today about my cat. I went to my backyard today, and my cat had a mouse, a cute little mouse, cornered in the corner of the yard, and was just staring at it. And whenever the fucking mouse tried to leave, the cat would just bat it back into the corner. It was like it was psychotic, dude. It was psychotic. It was like it was turning the mouse into its entertainment, and it did that for a while. So I picked him up and I let the mouse run. I felt bad for the damn thing. I felt bad for that mouse, bro. There was some Tom and Jerry shit. They say pets are like their owners. Fuck you. Fuck you. I saved it. Ari was like, whatever. It's like, it's a cat being a cat. And I was like, I was watching out the window and I was like, I feel too bad for this mouse. And so I took the. We're going to flash forward 2 weeks and my house is overrun with mice. And Ari was right. And this cat was the only thing keeping us alive. Liberal snowflake can't handle nature. That's what it is. That's what it is. My wife put on a MAGA hat and said, "You fucking lib, don't try to stop that cat." And then I had a giant soy latte with extra tofu, and I tried to stop it. But I was too afraid, honestly, of the cat batting me into the corner. I guess you want open borders for all the illegal mice pouring in. This is a real tweet? No fucking way. This is not a real tweet. This is a real tweet? No, this is not a real tweet. This can't be real. I'm going to show it to you guys. Nick Adams. I'm settling in for a showing of Melania, and the theater is packed. Earlier, a bystander asked if I was heading in to see Avatar, and I stopped dead in my tracks. Avatar? No, son. I curtly replied. I don't watch woke movies. I'm here to see the groundbreaking documentary about our incredibly talented First Lady. The two man's little girls began jumping up and down, pulling on his sleeve and begging, "Daddy, we want to see Melania." But, he stammered, "I thought you girls wanted to see Zootopia too." "No, no, no," they said, now nearly shouting. "We want to see Melania. She's the most beautiful First Lady ever." The father was scrambling, stressed out, and disoriented. "Girls, I'm afraid you aren't the only ones who are captivated by President Trump and his beautiful wife," I said, dealing to get on their level. "Virtually everyone in the theater is here for the 7:30 p.m. showing, and it's been sold out for days." Tears began to well up. But I said in a hushed tone, "I happen to have a few extra tickets with me, and I'd like you and your dad to have them." They jumped for joy and began hugging their father. He looked relieved as he wiped the sweat off his brow with a smile. I handed him the tickets and I pulled him close. "Raise these girls right," I whispered. "Teach them to be classy, conservative women of faith like Melania. Don't let them become like Meghan Markle. Capiche?" Holy aura. He hugged me and thanked me profusely. "What are you going to do now?" he asked. "Don't worry about me, son," I told him with a twinkle in my eye. "I've already got tickets to the next." Holy cinema! That was a better story than Melania. I'd watch a movie of this. Holy cinema, dude. Wow, that is fucking powerful. Let me check this, guys. Best-selling author endorsed by President. I think this is probably like a fake account, right? It's not a real person. He's eating a fucking raw meat. Who do you like more, Trump or Bad Bunny? Donald Trump is more popular. Maybe it is real. Damn. He's at least very committed. I mean, it could be a fucking bot. He's seeing Melania again. Holy, dude. I mean, he's definitely committed. Just walked past Orange Theory on my way to pick up a hot black coffee and overheard half a dozen college women chatting about Melania after their workout. They were enamored with the First Lady's class, humanity, and business acumen. I didn't know she was so smart, one of them said. Period, sis, another chimed in. I knew she was beautiful, but I had no idea she was so talented too. Slay queen. I didn't realize President Trump was such a good husband, said another, and the rest nodded in agreement. The media just lies about him so much. He's actually such a gentleman. In hushed tones, they all admitted they can no longer trust the liberal media or the Democrat Party. I think this film just secured the female vote for the GOP in the midterms. Holy fuck, dude. Finally, someone says it like it is. Nick Adams. Jesus Christ. That is beautiful storytelling. Not even storytelling because it's fact. He's the nominee for ambassador to Malaysia. I can't wait till he's the ambassador to Malaysia. And he's like, yeah, I was walking through Malaysia and everyone was talking about Melania. Everyone in Malaysia was saying how they were so impressed with America because of what they saw in the movie Melania. No, I mean, that has to be fake. It's fake and so either it's a bot that is designed to write slop, or it's but that's not a real human being. That can't be, right? I don't believe it. That oh my God. He really is the fucking nominee. He's an accomplished author, freelance political analyst. That means you just tweet about it on Twitter. An independent political commentator working in the USA. That's so crazy. This is a real person. He has a certificate of competency. That is insane. He's got a Wikipedia. No, he's fucking real. What the fuck? Dude, he's never been married or had children. So in his story, he goes to Melania alone, buys multiple tickets for a wife and kids he doesn't have, and then hands out. All right, I gotta blow my nose. I gotta blow my nose. That's awesome. That's awesome. Country's in good hands. lives in a pineapple under the sea. Oh, did you see my joke? Wait, okay, now we're going to do a presentation about Kevin Warsh, but I just wanted to say, I had to learn how to caption a video to make this. This is like insanely funny to me. This is an insanely funny tweet to make. So if you guys know, I made a video a while back about the circular financing in AI, you know, where NVIDIA would invest in Oracle, which would invest in OpenAI, which would invest in NVIDIA, or whatever, you know, the circle. And that was around the time that NVIDIA was putting $100 billion into OpenAI so that they could buy compute from Oracle, who could buy NVIDIA chips to build the data centers, okay? That was a circle. And recently, Jensen Huang was like off the cuff talking in an interview, and he was like, yeah, I mean, like 100 billion was like not a firm commitment of a number. It was like, that's like the maximum we could invest, and we're going to play it by ear or whatever. And that freaked the fuck out of everyone, freaked the market out. He like stepped back. And then after that, he realized what he'd said and tried to like, he was like, we're going to invest a lot in OpenAI. Don't you worry about that. Probably a huge amount. But, you know, after he'd said it, it caused some worry because OpenAI needs that money to help pay Oracle, who is right now breaking ground on a lot of data centers. They're spending a lot of debt-fueled money on building these data centers, and if OpenAI can't pay them for it, it's a disaster. And so people got a little bit worried. And then Oracle, unprompted, puts out this tweet where they say, the NVIDIA OpenAI deal has zero impact on our financial relationship with OpenAI. We remain highly confident in OpenAI's ability to raise funds and meet its commitments. And it's like, my confident in OpenAI's ability to raise funds t-shirt has a lot of people asking questions, answer them on my shirt. It's like, it's just a crazy thing to say because it's like, whoa, that's actually, I wasn't panicking before. But when you say it like that, now I feel like I have to panic. Because, you know, like I've said a million times, the dark beating heart of this financial problem is that OpenAI has made $1.5 trillion of commitments and doesn't have the money. They constantly need to find new fundraising to help pay for the things they've already committed to buy that they can't afford. And so this reminded me of a really classic Sunny scene, so I dubbed it over with, or I subbed it.
This is bad. We gotta definitely write a song about how we do not diddle kids. Do not diddle kids. It's no good diddling kids.
There is no quicker way for people to think that you are diddling kids than by writing a song about it.
This is bad.
I just think it's like and also with diddling kids and the dudes is also fucking appropriate. This is why stream was late. Honestly, probably. It took me an hour to figure out how to fucking subtitle this shit. It's only a problem if you address it. And then I think also NVIDIA had to tweet something. Everyone's had to tweet something about how, don't worry, it's all fine. OpenAI tweeted something. They're like, hey, why is there so much drama about this? And it's like, bro, the $100 billion that you were saying you had is now seeming like vaporware. Crazy how so little of the mainstream media are covering the files. That makes you feel helpless. Bro, no disrespect, but I think this is completely wrong. I think everyone's covering it, bro. That's always like the main story on like everything. Whether something gets done is what you can be hopeless about. Like whether things will happen, people are covering it, bro. No one's ignoring it. I saw it on fucking everywhere. I saw it on FT, NYT, Washington Post. I just think the mainstream media doesn't have clout. You're probably not watching it. And then I didn't check Fox. I'm assuming Fox just talked about Bill Gates and fucking Bill Clinton. But they still covered it. If I check right now, let's see. Nah, maybe Fox isn't covering it. What is Fox is covering? Actress Halle Berry tells Gavin Newsom he can't sleep on women if he wants to be president. Damn, there's like, this is crazy. Fox News website is insane. Let's see if they have anything on it. Let's check. Damn, if you... That's crazy. You can go to a specific Donald Trump section and search Epstein. There's nothing there. What about... Okay, what about... There's got to be something. Can I search? Epstein. What did they say? Okay. So they haven't done an Epstein post in 2 days. And it was about ex-NASCAR driver sent Jeffrey Epstein a Valentine's Day email. Russell Wilson. Damn, they have not covered shit. I mean, you're right. Fox is nothing. There's no new news here. They got, oh, there's one day. I wish you could sort by new. Nothing about Elon, nothing about Trump, nothing about, that's crazy. Brian Vickers turned Dale Jr. at Daytona. Now he's getting what he deserves. I don't know what this means at all. This is some deep NASCAR beef, dude. I have no idea what that means. I don't think he's getting what if he's in the Epstein files, he deserves justice based on that, not because he one time won a race or something. I don't. You know who's not in the files? Just realized Dick Cheney isn't even in the files. He did all that for the love of the game. That's my goat. That's my goat. That's the love of the game. Dick Cheney. A man of true conviction for making money for Halliburton. What are your thoughts on the new 2026 F1 regulations? Who do you think has a better car so far? I think it's Ferrari. And I think real Ferrari fans know this is the year. Low-key base take. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you. I just have knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like some of you are casual F1 fans, and I'm like a serious one. I feel like I understand. If you had to arrange a marriage for Ari, but could only choose from one of the U.S. presidents, who would you pick for her? Who's the guy that died in 9 days? She'd be back real quick. She'd be back real quick. I'll be touring the Dallas Federal Reserve and have the Dallas Fed chair come talk to my class. What should I ask him? You should say, you should try to get all of the kids in class to start chanting, pull all your money out of the banks. and then tell them to all call their parents, tell them to pull their money out of the banks. Start to get a movement in front of him of everyone doing a bank run right there, right then. Okay? And see how he reacts. Say the banks are out of money. The banks are out of money. Get your money out now. Who you got winning the Super Bowl? Honestly, I think the real winner of the Super Bowl are us, the fans, for getting to watch the greatest sport in history played at the highest level. I think the winner is Americans. Okay, that's what I think. That's my, I guess you'd call it based take. I just hope both teams have fun out there. Is that so wrong to say? I feel like they've put in a lot of work all season and now they get to enjoy the game of football at the highest level. That's what I think. I'm just going to watch the commercials, bro. What do predictions markets say? Wait, let's see. Super Bowl prediction market. Billions of dollars are being wagered on prediction markets for the Super Bowl. The New York AG is warning about the massive risk. Oh, brother. What a good economy we have. Dude, there's millions of dollars bet on whether Bad Bunny wears a dress or a skirt. There's betting odds on which companies run ads. This is like basically public information. You could find this out. Dude, people are so cooked. People are betting on which celebrities will appear in Super Bowl commercials. They're betting on who's going to be there. Dude, this is insane. If you're a celebrity, I mean, not one of these people, they already have a ton of money, but if you're a celebrity, you could just bet on yourself that you'll be there and then pay for your ticket. JD Vance 15%. Joe Biden 13. No, Jill Biden 13%. Obama's got a better chance of being there than Trump. Is there any regulation for insider trading? That is a laughable question. Is there any regulation for insider trading? No. What economy do you think we're in? No. Have you seen anyone? I haven't seen anyone since fucking Martha Stewart get in trouble for insider trading. Not only is it not enforced, it's like encouraged. It's supposed to be fucking illegal. And there's just complete open season. Hey, Big A, Vodfrog here. How long do you think it'll take the U.S. to come with rare mineral refineries and China's by their trade restrictions? I just want to say thank you for all the lessons over the years. It's a great question. Trump announced today, I think, strategic mineral reserve or whatever. There's obviously a massive push. Let's see. $12 billion critical mineral stockpile. The Project Vault, intended to reduce U.S. reliance on China for key technological components. And that's because if the U.S., if Raytheon or whatever wants to build, let's say, a missile, not half, I don't know what percentage is, a good chunk of the minerals and refined materials and the magnets that go into that missile all come through China, like 98% through China. So you can't build it without them. And they spent decades building the refining capabilities and the pipelines for that. So the idea that we're going to get it figured out in a year with $12 billion is laughable. I don't think it's anywhere close. Like even this mineral stockpile is us buying shit on the open market, really. This is not like we're building, this is like $12 billion to build our own pipeline. This is like, hey, we're going to buy a bunch and store it away in case we need it. What's stopping China from invading us today? Are you guys actually stupid? Okay. Yes, the critical minerals is a huge strategic vulnerability for America, but America still has a massive military, and then more importantly, thousands and thousands of nuclear weapons. Thousands and thousands of nuclear weapons. They have a massive navy, and so I just what's stopping Nicaragua from opening a portal to the Shadow Realm? That's the same type of question you just asked. Random question, but how do mineral rights work for people who own land where they find minerals or oil? I'm sure that's different by country and by region, bro. I don't know that off the top of my head. I do know that I made a very profitable investment in, there's a company. I heard about this from someone else and I just took a risk on it. A flyer. This is like 4 years ago. I took a flyer on it and it worked pretty well. There's a company that just owns land in the Permian Basin in Texas, and they don't have any employees. They don't do any drilling. They don't do anything. All they do is if somebody else wants to drill for oil on that area, they take a cut. They take a cut. That's it. They just own the land. So it's like their upside is pretty capped because they get a small chunk of the profit, but they have no downside. There's no cost. They have zero expenses. And so that's how it was pitched to me as the idea. And I took a risk on it, and it's up like quite a bit. Over. Yeah, there's property tax. I'm not saying there's no expenses. I'm just saying it's minuscule. Did you see Polymarket encouraged insider trading? What's this? What is happening?
So the Grammys, potato. If you had me saying potato on Polymarket, you just made a ton of money. So congratulations, Noah_22, whoever that is. Welcome back.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny that Polymarket would fucking share this. Just they're so happy to hear their name heard, even though he's talking about how it's insider trading. They're so fucking pleased. I remember, actually, we did this at Twitch. I wonder if I can find this. When I ran Twitch's social media, the show Silicon Valley put the Twitch logo in their intro, even though the whole show is like how Silicon Valley is fucking dumb. And we were so fucking excited. We shared that, like in the office, we were like, holy shit. And we shared it on, the same thing happened with the very first, here we are, don't turn away. What's that song? The Warriors song. There's like one frame of it that shows people watching League of Legends on Twitch. And then we were like, holy shit, Riot noticed us. Why is Super Bowl ads more expensive this year? We're doing a Super Bowl ad review on Tuesday of next week. Literally 1 week and 24 hours from today. But it's not that much more expensive. It was like 7-8 million last year. 6-7 actually, I think is what it was. a little of inflation, a little bit of there's fewer and fewer spots where you can hit mass market people. Okay, let's talk about Kevin Warsh. Kevin Warsh! I gotta talk about it. Where the fuck is my slides? Okay. Actually, pretend I didn't say that. You don't know what it is yet. Pretend I didn't say Kevin Warsh. Okay? We're finally warshed. Okay. Look. You guys, everyone's been talking about the Epstein files, and we've talked about it, and there's a lot of new information in the Epstein files. And that's a big deal for most major media outlets. I want to talk about something that's a little more boring on the surface, but actually maybe even more, there's a chance something might get done, I guess. Is the honest answer, okay? So look, Jerome Powell, we've been doing the sad countdown on every press conference he does. Oh, there's only 3 left. Oh, there's only 2 left. Oh, there's only 1 left. It's almost time for Jerome Powell to hang up the money printer, okay? He's gone in May. And there's been a bit of a Donald Trump Celebrity Apprentice style run on who he's going to pick to replace him. And there was a lot of candidates. First, there was Kevin Warsh. Then there was Kevin Hassett, who seemed like a shoo-in, a lock, a 98% on Polymarket. Then briefly, there was Rick Ryder, we talked about, which I was very excited for because I realized this after that video. His name is Richard Ryder, AKA Dick Ryder. Trump could have nominated a literal Dick Ryder to do that. I would have had jokes for years and years. However, all those people, well, 2 of those people went to zero. And instead, it went right back to Kevin Warsh. Kevin Warsh was the nominee. A surprise surge straight to the top of the betting markets. Donald Trump, a few days ago, put out a very long Truth Social. Oh my God, let's see if we can get this less cut off. A very long Truth Social with his whole resume, saying, I have known Kevin for a long period of time, and I have no doubt that he will go down as one of the great Fed chairmen, maybe the best. On top of everything else, he is central casting and he'll never let you down. Now, if you guys don't know what central casting is, Trump says that when he means this person looks the part. It's like they're straight out of central casting in Hollywood. And he's really obsessed with people looking the part, looking hot. Okay, wait, the cropping's kind of wrong. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. He's a bit of a showman, as you may have noticed. And that's kind of a funny thing for him to say because Kevin Warsh has had a very long, many years, almost a decade plus, trying to get this job. He's really wanted the job. And the reason he didn't get it last time, he was number 2 behind Powell. You may not know this. Last time, when Jerome Powell was picked, it was a close race between Kevin Warsh and Jerome Powell. And at the last minute, Donald Trump said, Kevin Warsh is too young. He said he looks too young, too boyish, and if something bad happens, the markets aren't going to trust him. This is unironically what Trump said the first time. That's why he picked Jerome Powell, it turns out. It was because he looked more serious. So now that it's been quite a few years, Kevin Warsh has aged up and probably fucking dyed his hair grayer because he wanted the job this time around. He wants to look older to be more serious so that Trump will pick him. I mean, he really, if you look, this article's quite good. He has been like campaigning for this job. He has wanted this job. This is a serious goal of his, which, a little bit worrying, but so before I go on and explain like what this means, what a Kevin Warsh Fed chair might look like, I need to explain 2 kind of basic finance terms, okay? You know how we often talk about, we'll talk about like raising and lowering interest rates and whether you want to fight for inflation or fight for jobs, right? We'll do that, okay? So on Wall Street or in finance in general, if somebody really is concerned about inflation and they want to raise rates and they want to slow the economy down and make sure things don't get too expensive, they're hawkish. They're called hawkish. They're like a hawk watching over inflation, okay? That's hawkish. Not Hawk Tua. There's no Hawk Tua involved. This predates, if you can believe it, Hawk Tua. They're just hawkish. And if they're more concerned about growing the economy, making money easier to print or to borrow, and juicing things in the short term, getting jobs up, they're called dovish. So if you hear these terms all the time, you're like, oh, this guy's hawkish, this guy's dovish. That's what it means. It's basically about that, okay? Hawkish versus dovish. And the dovish people are really about making it cheap to borrow, okay? Famously, if you go back through all Fed chairs in American history, the most hawkish was this guy, Paul Volcker. Famously, he's like the example of an ultimate hawk because he broke the back of inflation in the 70s and 80s by raising interest rates to unheard of near 20% levels, okay? He made it extremely expensive to borrow, which did cause a recession, by the way, but it completely broke the back of inflation. It got prices back down to normal. It stopped growing. Then when growth happened, it was above the rate of prices. Things felt cheaper to average Americans, okay? This is a big deal that he did that. He's the ultimate hawk. But again, being a hawk in these type of times is tough to do because it does cause economic slowdown. And that's unpopular. People were like throwing, like they were like pulling tractors on Volcker's front lawn and farmers were saying he was killing their business. And there was like a lot of like protests and okay, it wasn't like an easy decision. There was a lot of political backlash. It was tough and he had to do it. So understand, but that's how they did it. Ultimate hawk. The reason you might have noticed that so many crazy market moves happened when Kevin Warsh was chosen as the nominee is that if you look at his past history and things that he said, again, he's been involved in the Fed and central banking and finance for a long time. There is a sense that he is more of a hawk than a dove. And that's a surprise because everybody thought Donald Trump would pick the most dovish person possible. That was the idea. And so there's this big question, Scaramucci from our fucking crypto show was like, the market has decided that Kevin Warsh is Paul Volcker, which again is an insane thing, right? That's very unlikely. But the market is nervous because if you look at this guy's past statements, he's like extremely concerned over and over again about inflation. And he's not one to want to raise rates in the past. So there's like this question, there's this dynamic is this guy, Kevin Warsh, gonna be Paul Volcker or is he gonna be Donald Trump? Is he gonna be Trump in a mustache doing exactly what Trump wants? Because Trump seems to think that's what he is. Trump thinks Kevin Warsh is gonna get in there, cut rates, stimulate the economy, and that's what Kevin Warsh has been saying recently, since like September of last year. He's been all in on the Trump train, saying whatever he wants to hear. He's been saying Trump's policies are great. We got to cut interest rates. He's been saying everything you got to say to get the job. But is he just saying it to get the job and then he's going to go back? We don't know. All right. Trump wants a hot economy. Okay. He wants aggressive fiscal stimulus, loose monetary policy. That's what he wants. And Kevin Warsh's history gives him some credibility that he won't be doing that. And so the question is, from every financial outlet, will Warsh do what Trump wants? He may not be a guaranteed yes on cutting interest rates. So let me give you some of the pros. Let me give you some of the pros and cons of Kevin Warsh here. The pros are he does have experience and he's not an idiot. He's got some dumb decisions in his past. People like Mark Carney have given them a vouch. People like Ray Dalio have given him a vouch. They've said, hey, and then Ray Dalio is the guy who's constantly saying America is going to default on its debts. The dollar's going to go to zero and they're fucking screwed. And he's like, Kevin Warsh is a guy that probably could. So there's a central sense this guy might actually do the right thing. Here's some cons. A couple cons. In the past, he's actually been wrong about a lot of things. Most specifically, he was one of the Fed governors voting during 2007 and 8. And in that time, he said, let me see if I have a quote here. Like this is like in the peak of the recession. Okay, April 2009. The economy is losing hundreds of thousands of jobs. The unemployment rate is spiking, and inflation's only 1.2%. And he's like, I'm worried about inflation. He's like still trying to slow, like that is when you cut rates. That is when it's like you have to cut, and he's still like, so do you understand? Like he's almost insanely hawkish. He might just be dumb, but he's very worried about inflation. So that's his past, that's his experience. Additionally, on a personal level, he's married to, I forget her first name. What's her first name? Gloria, maybe? Her last name is the important, Jane. I'm sorry, Jane. So her name is Jane Lauder. You might recognize that name, Lauder, because her dad is, I believe, Ronald Lauder of the Estee Lauder Fortune, which is the makeup company. Okay? Billionaire heiress. This guy, very deeply connected in a lot of bad ways. Very deep billionaire connections all over the place. I know he just looks evil, but he also has, very, actually, I don't think he's personally in the Epstein files, but very Epstein files connected. Very like New York City finance billionaire connected. Okay? So there's like a bit of, also, this guy, a big Trump supporter, big Trump donor. So there's a bit of like a pressure there through the family that would fall on Kevin here to prevent him from making the right call, the right decision. Additionally, Kevin Warsh, I think this is actually kind of overblown. He was mentioned, and his wife, in the Epstein files. I wonder if I could pull up the image. I was gonna be like, oh, well, that's fucking open and shut, right? But then I looked into it. It's like there's one page where they're listing every rich person who has a boat in St. Bart's, and it's like Martha Stewart's on there. It's like a bunch of people that are all rich that are near. And St. Bart's not even the island so it wasn't. That's the only mention I could find of Kevin Warsh in there. So I wouldn't say. I mean, he's just in those circles maybe, but he's not. So I wouldn't say that's a big. People are going to say that about him, but I want to say I don't think that's a big criticism. So overall, if I had to give you my short take on this, it's like, of all the people this guy could have picked, Trump could have picked, it could be a lot worse. I'm actually like, okay, this guy's got a background where at least he seems concerned with inflation. He's got possibly the ability to be hawkish when needed. Okay, it's not insane. However, knowing the context we have going into this, the real fear is that he will be like many other people who have said things in the past, and then once Trump has the political pressure, the people around you, the donation money, and the ability to put investigations on you, like he did with Jerome Powell, people flip. Like you can find plenty of people whose past statements, if you saw them, you'd be like, oh, that guy's going to be a certain way.
But yeah, here's what happens in many countries around the world. You have a leader that emerges and basically says, don't put your faith in yourselves, don't put your faith in society, put your faith in me. I'm a strong leader, and I'm going to make things better all by myself. This is very typical. You see it in the third world. You see it a lot in Latin America for decades. It's basically the argument he's making that he single-handedly is going to turn the country around. We've never been that kind of country. We have a president. The president is an American citizen who serves for a period of time, constrained by the constitutions and the powers vested in that office. The president works for the people, not the people for the president. And if you listen to the way he describes himself and what he's going to do, he's going to single-handedly do this and do that without regard for whether it's legal or not.
The ending is the real.
Look, I think people are going to have to make up their mind. I can tell you this, no matter what happens in this election, for years to come, there are many people on the right, in the media, and voters at large that are going to be having to explain and justify how they fell into this trap of supporting Donald Trump, because this is not going to end well one way or the other.
This is how it ended. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a tough quote. That's a tough quote. And then, you know, I mean,
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
It makes you think that at a fundamental level, this is sort of a he said, she said, right? And at the end of the day, do you believe Donald Trump, who always tells the truth? Just kidding. Or do you believe that woman on that tape?
No, I cannot stand Trump because I think he's a fraud. Well, I think he's a total fraud that is exploiting these people, who is a total fraud.
Like you said, I agree with you on Trump because I don't think that he's the person. I don't think he actually cares about folks.
Definitely, there is definitely an element of Donald Trump support that has its basis in racism or xenophobia. I think there's a chance, if I feel like Trump has a really good chance of winning, that I might have to hold my nose and vote for Hillary Clinton. I think that I'm going to vote third party because I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place.
All right, and how did that end? Do you know what I'm saying? So when I see Kevin Warsh and I look at his past statements from years and years ago where he's like, yeah, I think we should be careful with inflation and we need to, and then I see all of his recent statements where he says the exact opposite. I feel like I'm more worried about this type of situation than I am that he's a secret agent who said the right thing to get in the job. I think that might have been a lucky thing that we got with Powell and not something that I'm deeply trusting of this time. Now, I want to say one more thing because people really want to know, like, what the hell happened with, like, precious metals. After this guy was picked, after Kevin Warsh was picked, the market, again, was pricing in that they were going to be the most dovish guy of all time. So this is kind of a shock when he picks this guy. And so the immediate thing that happens is the US dollar strengthens instead of weakens because people are like, oh, he's going to be more hawkish. Things that are about the debasement trade, like gold and silver, take a hit. And then borrowing costs go up, all right? That's like the immediate reaction. The reason it was so severe in gold is because, gold and silver, is because I want to do a little bit of a psychological thing here. Anytime in the modern, financialized, insane, Reddit, retail trader, Wall Street bets type economy, anytime you get a line like this, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be literally human shitcoin. It could be anything. Isn't it a line like this? People start piling in with leverage. They start piling in with borrowed money. It does not matter what it is. So it causes a huge surge in greed. Like I said, gold particularly is a scary asset to be trading right now because some part of this rise is due to fear, which is an emotion that's also unreliable. People are like, oh, I'm afraid of the dollar debasement. I'm afraid of uncertainty in the world, so I buy gold. But it's also being driven by greed. It's one of the rare assets that has both fear and greed, the worst investing emotions, piling it in to making it extremely, extremely top heavy. Yeah, plus FOMO, okay? And so when you get this in a row, and people go, oh my God, if it's guaranteed going to go up, then I can just borrow money and make a short-term bet on it continuing to go up. There's no way I can lose. And so when you have people doing that, let me give you an example. If you have $10,000, right, and you want to buy gold, you might get 2 ounces, okay? Now, if gold doubles, oh, I made a new $10,000. That's awesome. That's great. But if you know it's going to double, if you're so confident, well, you're like, why don't I just borrow $10,000 and then I put in 20K? And then if it doubles, I have 40K, okay? I'll pay back 10 and I have a 30K profit. I made way more money. Okay? That is what people are doing. The problem with that is this is margin money. This is borrowed money. So if the price goes down at all, even in the short term, even for a little bit, all of a sudden you're getting what's called margin called. If this goes down to, like, let's say 15,000, right? Okay? Or let's say it'd be more like 12. If this went down to 12 or whatever, okay? Then it's like the bank that loaned you money doesn't take the loss, okay? That minus 8,000 comes out of yours, okay? You still owe the 10K, and your margin, your percentage that you have is much smaller. So the bank is very worried that you're not going to be able to pay them back as this falls. So they said you either have to put in more money to top up your margin, or we're going to automatically sell your holdings to make sure that we can get our money back. And so people that are on this insane leverage, they're on this fucking 10x leverage or whatever, 3x, 5x, 10x leverage. The second the gold price starts to fall even a little bit, their banks are automatically selling their gold to make sure they can pay off this. Instant. It's automatic. You get wiped out instantly. Leverage makes the losses way more impactful. And we had a lot of people piling in to leverage trades on silver or gold and other precious metals. So once it dipped even a tiny bit, the dip was instantly compounded. All this stuff got stopped out. All this stuff got margin called out. That's what happens. So understand that, like, the normal trade of why you might be interested in gold is really being overwhelmed by the goofiest people on earth. Like, it's no longer about like a fundamental reason. Whatever you hear about is like mostly about insane retail traders at this point. You see people like, this is like a big thread on Reddit a few days ago. I'm 3x leverage. Am I cooked? I need a significant rise to break even. People were buying in at the absolute top with leverage, and they're getting fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is all over. So understand, like, the swings in a volatile thing like gold right now, or silver or anything, are going to be way wilder once there's a bunch of retail emotional traders involved. And so it was originally Kevin Warsh, but it got amplified by that. That's a kind of explanation of what's going on. Now, the last thing I want to say is there's also a chance, I think it's a smaller chance, but there's a chance that Kevin Warsh doesn't even get the nomination. He doesn't get confirmed, because there are still senators like Republican Tom Tillis, but others who are saying, hey, he's a qualified nominee. However, I will not vote to confirm him until you drop the charges against Chairman Powell, because you have a criminal investigation, a fake one, into Jerome Powell. Until you drop that, I'm not going to confirm your nominee. I hope that more senators take up this banner and this message, because the idea that a president could drum up some fake charges to put pressure on a central banker and then push in his own guy is not good. We have to make sure that's not part of the process. So that's kind of the update. I think that helps you understand what's going on and why everyone's talking about Kevin Warsh and why it's causing crazy swings in the market. I don't think any of these will be long-term crazy. The first real course of action is what this guy does when he's in office. And I got to be honest with you, my gut, despite all the talk about him being a hawk, my gut is that this guy comes in and cuts interest rates first thing. The first immediate thing he does is does exactly what Trump wants and cuts rates. I think it's very, very likely. So I think any bets that are positioning him like he's some sort of Paul Volcker 2.0 are, I think, misguided. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Okay. That's a little update. Hope that helped clear some things up. He's definitely not the worst he could have been. So, that's fine. That's good. Does the Fed chair decide the rates, or does he need to vote from the governors? Everyone keeps asking me that question. It's a vote. However, this is a true fact. I made sure to confirm this. A Fed chair has never, whatever they voted for has never not been the decision in the history of America. It's never happened. The Fed chair has always voted with what the decision is. So there's never been a Fed chair dissent. So the idea that his word won't matter would be a big change. Is Powell going to be the shadow Fed chair? That's the next question. So Jerome Powell can stay on as one of the 12 governors that votes. And if he does that, he might be the shadow Fed chair, because he's he's got so much clout and so much aura and so much importance that his vote would matter more than the chairman. But there's a real chance Jerome Powell is just done with this shit and wants to get out. Like, the vibes seem to be that Jerome Powell wants to retire or be done. He might stay on as a governor for years more if he thinks it's super important, but I think he's over it. If the new Fed does increase rates, do you think there'll be a recession? Man, I just think the likelihood of the Fed increasing rates is zero, man. As hawkish as this guy could be, I think he's not going to. I think what he might do, we can get a little more in the weeds here if you want, is there's kind of two things the Fed does to stimulate the economy. One of them is cut rates as low as they can. The other thing is quantitative easing, where basically they print money to buy things. They buy government bonds, they buy mortgage, but whatever. Quantitative easing. Okay? That's print money. And Kevin Warsh, the scarier thing about him for Wall Street is that he fucking hates QE. He hates quantitative easing. I think if he's going to be hawkish at all, he might try to trick Trump by cutting rates a lot like Trump wants, but then really cutting QE or doing quantitative tightening. And that would be a way where he's doing what Trump wants on the surface, but all the under the surface stuff that stimulates is gone. That's a real possibility based on how he talks. So there's some interest in that. But here's the problem is that will cause a lot of things are being kept up by that, including some banks will fail. You know what I'm saying? I think what really matters more than what he says, because he's never had power, he's never had the real ability to make a decision, is if he has that fucking iron in him. It's not about what he says, it's about whether he can stomach the enormous political pressure that will exist once these have consequences. I'm being serious. There's going to be a time where he makes a choice to lower rates or raise rates, and then he's going to get something. He's going to get inflation, or he's going to get a recession, and he's going to have to stick to his call, or that's going to be the hard question. And there's going to be a lot of pressure from a lot of people around him. And I get the sense maybe he's not as tough as Jerome on that front, but we'll see. Can we still watch Fed chair meetings after Powell? I'm going to watch every Fed chair meeting as long as there is. Yeah, I love watching them. It's one of the best insights you can get. Does anyone ever say thank you for your presentation? Streamer's the most thankless job for real. So fucking true, dude. Streamer's the most thankless job there is. It's fucking true, dude. It's the hardest job in the world. It's harder than the Marines. Everyone thanks the Marines. No one ever thanks streaming. When I'm at an airport, they never say thank you for your service and salute me when I'm that's sad. What happened to this country? What happened to this country, bro? Have you told that joke to your dad? My dad's in the chair force, brother. My dad's not a Marine, okay? My dad did 30 years in the chair force. He did not see combat. It was cool though, because obviously I've said this, but I didn't just grow up on American military bases. I grew up on NATO bases. When we lived in Germany, my classmates were the daughter of a Norwegian military guy, son of a Poland military guy. It's everyone was different countries. It was kind of cool. And I would constantly lecture them about how America was the best. I would constantly tell all these other countries about all these other students my age. What country got the best grades? So high key, I'm just gonna say it, bro. I remember there was like 3 blonde Nordic girls who were obviously like I probably had a crush on them, but they also got like all A pluses. It was insane. It was insane. It's probably why I still hate the Nordic countries to this day. It's they just how do they win at so many things? It's unfair. And they were probably more athletic, bro. It's crazy. They were separate families. They were separate families. Like, it wasn't even all Norway. It was like, I think 2 of them were Norwegian and one was, I don't remember, Swedish, Danish, something. Where is he? Probably like you don't know because you'd have different, boys and girls gym. I don't know, but Swedes and Danes love to be confused with each other. Yeah, they were probably Swedish or Danish. Who gives a shit, Who gives a shit, honestly? All the same. I feel like you overfocus on the importance of deficit spending historically, while current debt and deficit levels are dangerous, especially with the degradation of the dollar. I don't think it's fair to compare the inflation effects with the 2000 deficit, which is going to the inflation effects. Okay, you're typers. You're typersing. What I would tell you is, I would take a closer look at the deficit spending of the 2000s with inflation in asset prices. Not necessarily inflation that's trickled down to consumer goods, which is where it broke through in 2020. I think there's a lot of people that thought, oh, we did QE, we printed all this money, we had massive deficits, and we got away with it. And we didn't really get away with it. It just, the inflation was all tied up in asset prices. So it was in scarce goods, fucking real estate, stocks, all that stuff got more and more out of reach of regular Americans. And then finally, it broke through into actual like consumer goods, and then no one could fucking stomach it. But 54 months, Chico the man. Thank you. Do you think there's a politically feasible route back to a balanced budget? I don't know, but I will say this. I've been kind of impressed, high key, with how Mom Donnie is handling the New York budget, at least early. It's only a month in. But he has said some statements that I thought no politician could ever say. He said, we have to, obviously, I mean, that's not crazy that he would say this, raise taxes on the wealthy. But then he also said we have to also cut spending and trim all the waste. He said we have to do both. If we don't do both, we can't even come close to balancing it. And so it's like, that's a rare thing to say. It's rare to have somebody, because both those things are politically unpopular. To do both at the same time requires aura. It requires aura. And you kind of do have to do both, because otherwise you're kicking the can. You're putting it on the future. I think they call that Sharia law. But anyway, I appreciate the statement from him and the ability to try to explain why it needs to be done. And to just understand that, we talked about this on Lemonade Stand, but I do want to say one thing. There's a lot of people that talk about problems in America like the solution is just to throw more money at it. Sometimes we do need to throw more money at a problem. I'm not saying it isn't. But I want you to imagine it like this is a pipe, okay? And it's the leakiest fucking pipe of all time. And it's just like all the water's coming out, okay? The water is just pouring out. It's not a okay. This is a pipe. And so we pour in, like, let's say this is the healthcare pipe in America. Healthcare. We pour in more money than any other country on earth, but the results we get are way less. Do you understand? we get less. So sometimes people are like, we need to spend more on healthcare. Americans need to fucking, and it's like, we could dump even more money into here, but until we fix the leaky pipe, this is never gonna, we're still gonna lose 98% of it. So, and it's the same thing with like the military. We spend a ton on the military, but so much of it is siphoned off by, and until you really are serious about like getting effectiveness out, about spending the dollars wisely, then you're going to end up borrowing a lot, printing a lot, whatever, to try and shove it into this pipe. That's sort of the takeaway. I also want to say that America had decades of essentially a balanced budget, very small deficits, and they accomplished some of its biggest public works projects. We built highways. We built, Eisenhower had a balanced budget. Post World War II, by the way, we had a ton of fucking debt and interest to pay, balanced budget, and then built national highway system. Like, you can still do these things. I think it's really annoying, and I hear this sometimes with people in my audience too, who think that any attempt to bring spending more in line with other countries is like austerity. Or if you're trying to balance your budget, that's austerity. It's like, bro, it's not austerity to just spend the taxes you make. You shouldn't be required to borrow and print just to get by. We've gotten through decades without that before. So it's I find that to be a very frustrating line of thought, and it leads to fucking insolvency. It leads to New York City's not permitted to borrow? No, that's incorrect. They can't borrow for their like day-to-day budget, but New York City is actually the most indebted city in the country. They borrow quite a bit just for long-term projects or whatever. New York City is, many of our U.S. cities are underwater. Not physically, they are in a lot of debt. Dude, you know what? I think it's Chicago. Dude, it's crazy. Sold their, yeah, dude. Chicago in 2008 sold the right to all of the parking in the city, all the parking meters. You know, like if you go to a parking meter in a city, you have to pay, like one of these, like this. Like this, right? You park, you have to pay money, okay? Chicago took a one-time payout from a hedge fund and sold the future revenue of all of these forever, or for like 50 years or something. And then like within 3 years, this shit already made the $1 billion that they got. They got the money back in 3 years and then got 47 years of profits. It's insane. It's insane. There's a lot of stupid shit like this, bro, in a lot of cities. And I think a deep reverence and understanding of fiscal discipline is a very, very noble thing for a leader to have. And it shouldn't be something that's like, oh, that's not important. They'll figure it out. We can always borrow. No, it's not. You're literally making future people's lives worse every time, or even present people's lives worse. Um, it's almost like this is normalized by capitalism. Bro, I don't want to get in a fucking argument with you. But here's an example you can look up if you want on your own time. I want you to look up Yugoslavia and how they had this socialist system that was funded by debt. And they had like, I don't know, 15 years, 20 years? How long did that system last? Yeah, it was the 70s, okay? So throughout the 70s, they had what seemed to be numbers heading in the right direction. They had, they had good social spending on their middle class, but it wasn't paid for by raising taxes on people. It was all paid for based on debt. And then they had a debt crisis because people stopped loaning them money because their debt got too big. And then they had a massive collapse in the 80s. Massive. And then they had a complete free fall in real earnings, a collapse of all social programs, 600,000 layoffs, total fragmentation. It's like you can't, any great idea you have, if it's funded on debt, it'll eventually collapse. You have to, it has to be funded on real taxing of real revenues, real growth. There's a lot of, dude, this even happened in, this is the same thing with fucking Hitler's economic miracle. Hitler comes into fucking power and he gets all his popularity because there's an economic surge, but it's all debt fueled. He was borrowing like fucking crazy. It was all borrowed. Like even if Hitler had done nothing else, there would have been economic collapse in Germany, let alone the fucking World War II. But it was all a short-term mirage. And like our short-term mirages in America can be longer and bigger than other places because we can borrow in more deep liquid markets than anyone else. We have the fucking reserve currency. We can print, we can borrow. But we're nearing the end of that cycle, bro. It's 37 trillion of debt. The interest payments on the loan are bigger than our military. And I think, I think it's deeply important. I think it's super underrated as like a quality of a leader. And that's why I've been impressed with Mamdani. He takes it serious. Anyway, guys, I think that's it for me tonight. I do have a short presentation about a app in China that went viral. But I think I'm going to raid I think I'm going to raid Clint Stevens because he's playing Hitman Freelancer, and that's fucking awesome. We're going to raid Clint Stevens. Clint Steven. And then I think I'll talk about the XAI SpaceX merger tomorrow. Maybe try to whip up some slides if I can. Oh, no, sorry. I'm not live tomorrow. Almost certainly. I have to do 2 back-to-backs for Lemonade Stand. I'm not going to be streaming on Tuesdays and Sundays pretty much this year. I'm going to do every other day. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm doing 5 days a week. No Tuesdays, no Sundays. Because we're doing Lemonade Stand all Tuesdays now. It's impossible. So I'll be back on Wednesday probably. Definitely on Wednesday. Probably not tomorrow, but maybe I'll do one on XAI. Anyway, W's, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Watch Clint. Goodbye.